Hi and welcome to Add More Zest. My name's Rebecca, also known as 4Kids at 147. Happy 22nd of December, everybody. I've just realised I haven't put my stuff back from my earlier WIP and Waffle. I'll deal with that afterwards. So, happy 22nd. For today's 24-day Advent gift, we have a little card. So we decided to do a couple. This is the second sort of off the canvas item. This one's just a little bit lighter. It's only got a couple of different colours. We wanted something a little bit quicker. It's a bit close to Christmas. We decided to do this one on the 22nd because this used to be my Nana's birthday. So we thought, why not? This is something she would like. And this can be handy. It is blank inside, so it can be handy for anything that may occur throughout the year, whether you've popped the diamonds on before or afterwards. If you've got somebody who has a birthday in December, maybe you haven't yet grabbed them a card because of the madness, then you can pop this one together to pass on to them. So just a quick little fun project for today's one. For my tray and pen, I am using another pen that was made for me by Brianne and her boys, and I'm using a tray from December of 2022. This was a purple glittery one, and we're going to finish off this hand holding a bunch of pretty flowers for today. So let's tip in the white as we start. I will do some of the rhinestones today, but I think I'm just going to do this top row, and I think I'll leave this row for tomorrow to sort of do it all together. But I hope everybody is having a wonderful day, whatever you may be doing. I think, oh, actually I can move it a little bit closer to me, and therefore zoom in a little bit more. But yeah, I hope everybody's having a wonderful day. I have set up my wrapping table not that long ago. So nothing is wrapped yet, but just to, keep you updated in case maybe you've not wrapped either, so you don't feel so bad. The table is ready, so I have the tape, the pen, the tags, the paper, and hopefully I will get at least a few wrapped or get started wrapping later, so that I can get the tree looking a little bit more festive with presents underneath. Would be nice. But yeah, it is, of course, well, as this video is going up, it's the 22nd. I am filming it before, but the 22nd is also the day Caris gets home. She gets home a few hours after this has gone up. So my Christmas will be starting. I'm filming this the day before. Hubby is off work, so I'm filming it in the afternoon. And I'm actually kind of hoping to get filmed the next couple over the next couple of days. So I always film the day before anyway. So really, I'll only be filming one in advance, which will be the 24th. So that come the weekend, I can completely switch off from it all. I've got a few videos that I want to film for between Christmas and New Year. I've sort of sorted out my schedule. I think I said that the other day. Excuse me. I've sorted out the schedule, sort of spreading out videos, preparations, etc. I was hoping to get sort of quite a few dekittings done in advance, for things that I've got here. I have a couple of shelves in my craft room now that are videos waiting to happen. That's what the shelves are purely for, is videos waiting to happen. But I don't think I'm going to get through the likes of all of those. I think I need to switch my focus to making sure I get the videos done for the end of December, beginning of January, and I'll see how far I get. So the 24th will be sort of the last WIP and Waffle for just for a little bit. I'm not planning on one at the moment over New Year. It's not in my plan. However, if I do get the itch and the bug, then I will come and do a WIP and Waffle for that weekend. But more than likely it will be the weekend after, and I'm going to try and do sort of a longer WIP and Waffle, hopefully. So if I do decide to do any videos between Christmas and New Year, I'll be doing them ahead for January so that I can spend the time doing a longer WIP and Waffle, working on one of my paintings. It will probably be the poppy field one, actually, because I think unless I do some more purple tiger, so I'm not quite sure which. We will see what diamond painting I do over the next week or so in my own time. So far it's been a couple of paint gem minis, and that's been it since I've sort of done my Christmas ones. It's just a busy time, isn't it? I feel like it's ramping up a little bit busy. I feel like it will do extremely soon in this house. Megan finishes work today as I'm filming this, so she's off as you're watching this. So that's when I reckon things will kick up a gear even more. But yeah, it's getting closer to Christmas. I'm feeling a lot closer to being prepared. I've just noticed I have some fluff on this canvas, which I don't need. But yeah, that's sort of where I'm at. Hopefully all you guys are sorted, ready as you'll ever be, etc., and looking forward to some downtime. Comments, etc. So I am still on comments from the 17th. I'll see how many I get through in the next few videos, and then of course I will do some catch-ups with a long WIP and Waffle. But AA Elbright says, thank you, Rebecca, for another great WIP and Waffle. Her name is Anne, and she's a silent watcher of my videos in the US. She says, but she loves to diamond paint along with me. Perfect. Welcome, Anne. She says she's having such a great time. She said she had to let me know and wish you and your family a happy Christmas. Thank you, Anne. Happy Christmas to you and yours too. I hope you have an awesome one, and you keep silent watching. If that's what works for you, then that is perfectly fine by me. Commenting on YouTube is not for everybody, but I do love it when you know, when it suits people or takes their fancy or takes their mood, and they do comment. It's lovely, so thank you. Lady Dax, she says, Rebecca, she says it's pronounced fibromyalgia, which I think I have heard it said before. There's just sometimes there are days I can't get my words out. Seems like today's turning into one of them. She says she absolutely loves that other people have trouble with it. She said it took her months to learn how to say it too. She says she has a doctor's appointment for tomorrow, so fingers crossed. She says she'll get one prepared to listen, as high blood pressure could be a complication of one of the meds that she's already on. She says she loved the colour of the light up pen in today's advent. She said it's a beautiful blue. Yes, blue is a little bit more of a safe colour to potentially be liked by all. I feel like pink and purple and things like that are sometimes a little bit more I suppose not liked by some people. While blue isn't always people's favourite colour, it's often not one that people tend to state, I don't like it. If that makes sense, that's what made it safer. Brianne, she says she loves that I've had so much variety in colours for trays. She says, and she doesn't mean to sound like she's complaining, because she's not. She says she was excited about the two-tone and shimmer trays, but she's found that the drills don't line up or slide near as well in the special trays as they do in the regular colour trays. She said the difference of the texture / the filament just doesn't function as well for her. So she always finds herself grabbing the plain trays. That can be the case dependent on the filament. Some do work better for sliding than others. I do tend to find that some of the special ones do smooth out a bit over time. But if you do multi-place a lot and therefore need to do the whole shake and the whole line back, I mean, this glitter one's actually working pretty well, but I have used it for single placing quite a bit, and I tend to quite often I nudge rows of diamonds up or down or around, and it smooths it out a little bit. But I do find some are better than others. Sometimes even if they're the same manufacturer, they can be better than others. But for single placing, if you do have sections where you single place, that can be a good time to use those trays, and then they get better over time. It's like it sands the bottom a little bit. She says the special ones just look pretty on her tray storage. So there you go. Use them when you're single placing something or when you're using it for something else, and you will find that they do get better. But yeah, sometimes it can be the extra bits in the filament that can make them a little less forgiving. She says, oh well, she says life would be boring if we all liked exactly the same thing. That is true. She says, we are lucky you have catered to us all with a large variety over the last couple of years. She says she loves the crystal drills you started adding around the edges. She said, how fun. Just a little bit of difference. But yeah, I mean, in relation to the trays, some people just, buy the colours that they like, they enjoy. The basic colour trays, are good ones in a way for a reason, but the files are all the same across all of them. It is just different materials when they're made and when they're special type colours. But over time, we ourselves are getting better at determining what are the better filaments for printing the trays, what are the smoother ones, what are the ones that seem to work better. So we're constantly learning and growing along with that, to ensure that as many special trays or limited editions as possible have that nice smooth bottom, even more so, that works just as well with multi-placing as it does with single. Jerry, she says she's also one that ditched the stopper. She said she's ditched it. She said one of hers was loose and would fall out. She has the Mega and the AMZ tray that she bought when she first started diamond painting. It took her a minute to get used to the trays, as they are different to the standard that you get in kits. She says she's also gotten trays that she loves from an Etsy shop, where two trays slide into each other. And she's bought a small set of trays that has 6 smaller compartments that has a clear lid. She says she uses the trays with lids when she doesn't want to keep putting diamonds away. She kits some diamonds into the trays and just leaves them. She said they've helped so much with her Diamond Art Studio Advent, as she has most of the symbols already in the tray, and when she needs them, they're ready. There was a few times I did think about having the white ABs in a separate tray. I kept thinking of getting a second tray and having the white ABs in one tray while I was doing the background. But then I figured I'd probably confuse myself even more. So I just kept sticking to my original method. Mysterious Days says she doesn't think she's ever used the stopper, even on Diamond Art Club trays. She says she finds herself to be more clumsy than anything with them, and they're not for everybody. I've just got so used to having a stopper now that if I use a tray without one, I make a right mess. She says whilst watching this, she is finishing day 6 of the Diamond Art Studio Advent. Only 2 more 10 by 10 sections to go. She said the image is so cute. She said then she'll jump back to day 4 and 5. She just wanted to jump ahead a little bit while she's so behind. She says her cat won't steal socks. We blame the sock goblin in the dryer. She said instead she goes for hair ties, and more recently open cups. She will knock them off, and if there's something like Gatorade or iced coffee, or even a sip, the condensation off the side, she says she can't leave open cups overnight in her bedroom anymore, as she bats them off my nightstand and around the floor. Cats can be proper little tinkers, to be honest. Proper toddlers can a cat be. Testing the patience of all, especially their owners. Right, I'm going to do my rhinestones across the top, because this can then finish wherever it finishes over the other end. And where it will be, it will be. I say, I don't mind the fact that these aren't fully lined up, as long as the gap is filled with rhinestones, because they're completely different, with them being rhinestones, not like a specially coated normal drill. I don't mind so much, but it does seem as though it's just the way they've cut out the mould. They've cut out the mould with a ring around them, or with a slight bigger gap around the bottom of them, which in turn has made them a bit too big for the canvas. But it kind of works out in the end, and what I can probably do is nudge these all up to meet up with that end and just give a bit of breathing room to some of the others. There we go, we have the glitter. I'll add the glitter across this bottom one when this next one's done, because I've found that is working a lot better. I may have to adjust some of my others, but there we go, that's that one done. Let me get my next colour. I do have my grip mat back. It's been on my desk, so I've been throwing diamonds that I don't need into it to the right hand side. Kim, she says, no me time for me today. She said the day was a mix of good and bad. She said hubby and I went to church, shopped for a few things at home improvement store, and then went to a movie. Then the work began. She made her cut-out sugar cookies and cheese balls to gift out. Hubby decorated the Christmas tree shaped cookies with icing and decorative candies. She said she was thankful that he did this, because she hates frosting cookies. Teamwork. She says, oh, but oh my, she says the gaudy display of decorative candles were mind-boggling. She says she guesses him not being able to decorate the house this year has made him need an outlet for his creativity. She said, thanks for the video today. It was needed after all that busy work. Does sound like you've had a busy day. Sounds like you've had a fun day though, because you've done things together and you got to see a movie. So at least you got a little bit of sort of switch off time, even if it wasn't at the end of the day, and then you had the busyness of making cookies and cheese balls, which are making me feel hungry. Probably get a spot to eat when I finish this. Right, that's H. I feel like this one I'm going to end up missing some numbers or letters somewhere. Jerry, she says, me again. She says she had to pause this video as hubby came in to check to see if she was on the right day with the Time and Art Studio Advent. She said, sadly, she is 2 days behind. He said it would be awesome for me to finish it so that we could put it up for Christmas. She says she's guessing that she's just going to have to push through and get caught up and ahead. She says she may be able to work on this painting on the 23rd and will be staying, but they'll not be able to on the 24th. Apparently his sister and family will travel to our house on the 23rd and will be staying with them until at least Christmas night. She says on the 23rd she'll have to assemble a Greek dish called spanakopita. It's a dish that takes about 1 to 1.5 hours to assemble. It's a tradition in hubby's family to have this dish, and it is expected and appreciated of her to do it. She makes this dish every major holiday, Thanksgiving, Christmas and Easter. And the translation is spinach pie. Sounds very tasty, even if it does sound like it's a lot more work for you than maybe what you need. But it does sound rather nice. Right, I'm going to finish doing the hand before I move on to the other colours. I very much seem to work in sort of colour sections on this painting, more so than I do on other paintings. I don't know whether it's just because it's nice to sort of finish up a flower normally. In this case it's a hand, but normally it's nice to finish up a flower before I start another one. But yeah, I enjoy mixing things up a little bit, even if it's just by doing the colours in blocks according to what colour they are. It's just a little way to vary up the diamonds picked for a painting. It's a little bit different. Erin, she says, thank you for making these WIP and waffles so enjoyable. Well, thank you for being here and watching them. It gives me a reason to complete doing them and somebody to talk to. Because if nobody was watching them, I definitely would feel like I was talking to myself. Whereas I don't feel like I'm talking to myself at the moment. I'm talking to all of you. Right, I want to do those couple that are just the symbol T, because I've done the other symbol around it, which they are the middle of the flowers, but sort of the same. And then I'm going to move to this red and do all the red flowers. Okay. If I actually push it down on the lid, it will work. User JK7 and then lots of other numbers. It says, is that a square on though, please? Sorry, I'm not quite sure what it is that you're asking. It is a square picture, if that makes sense. If not, do ask your question again and I will answer it in a future Whip and Waffle. Madison also says, she says, hi from the Philippines. She says, question, she says, what brand or company the diamond paintings in the giveaway are. Lots of different companies, lots of different brands. I have listed them on the website. So under the giveaway tab, you will need to re-put in the password Holly. You don't need to enter again though. If you scroll down past the click to enter, it has a list and I've put the name of the painting and the company it is from, or where I got it from, so you can see them all there, but quite a few different ones. Sharon, she says, you and hubby were at Cheshire Oaks. She says she works on the Oaks, as they call it. She says, hope hubby got kitted out. Yes, he got a few bits. He's been very happy with his few bits. I got a new gilet, which I've been enjoying wearing that. And of course, I went back to the first shop that I'd spotted and tried one on in, because isn't that the way it always goes? But yeah, it can be very hit and miss what you can find there. Sometimes, depending on, you know, if you're looking for something specific, it can sometimes be hard to find, like you're not going to find the specific thing that you're after. And then other times you can go and find loads. But I suppose that's some of the excitement of it. But I reckon it is absolutely crazy over there about now. We've not gone anywhere near since. We don't need the craziness at this time of year, to be honest, of big places, big shopping centres. We very much like to quite often get what we can done earlier, just to avoid the madness, if nothing else. It's not too bad if you're only nipping out for one bit and you resign yourself to the fact there's going to be big queues. And you're sort of aware of it before you go out. But sometimes if you're used to nipping places and going really quick and then it's busy, that can often be worse. Because you go thinking you've only got X amount of time and it takes so much longer due to the queues. Though we did go to IKEA, get a couple of bits. We went straight to the warehouse, so we didn't walk around. The other night we needed to get a new mattress for Karis's bed, and I needed a couple of shelves for in the craft room. And Megan and I went to the warehouse, came back out, and were back home within about 20-25 minutes. So we call that a win. It's definitely quietened down the Christmas rush in IKEA a little bit. We went the other night. We went about 8 o'clock, which is the best time when you live local, is to go at about 8 o'clock. And yeah, all the Christmas stuff has gone from the sort of warehouse section that you walk through to the tills. It is now all Kallax and toy storage. It's quite funny how it's all changed to be toy storage, which quite often is something come the beginning of January that parents often feel like they have to relook at, is how the kids' toys are stored, especially as their ages grow, and the types of toys that they want grow. Sometimes, you know, they go from having really big things that go on big shelves to having smaller, more intricate little sets of things that just don't fit on the shelves in the same way. So it's always a fun time. Cat Lady says she completed her day 14 painting today. She said it worked up quickly. She said she loves it. I've not done mine of that yet. I do need to do that one at some point. Debbie, she says we fill our tree up with candy canes and chocolate decorations. She said as the grandchildren love to come round and sneak them off the trees. Yes, my kids used to love being able to get a chocolate off the tree at their nana's too. She says she hopes that you're having a lovely day. I think sometimes it's those things that are the more remembered fun and exciting bits for kids, is the being able to have the chocolates off the tree or some other sort of tradition that happened at certain houses. It's always fun for them. Melissa, she says hi. She says she's been pondering over something and she would like others' opinions. She says, so when she was younger, or when she was very little, her parents changed her dominant hand from left to right. Her teacher in junior school noticed that she had difficulty reading and she had extra time. And when pointing out to the words, she would use her left hand. She asked her mum, and her mum said she didn't want her to be bullied. So now she just gets on with things and she doesn't really notice. She says, but she is soon starting art therapy and the therapist is quite excited to see what she does. So the other day she said, Rebecca, you mentioned because you're right-handed that I start from left to right. She says, but she does from right to left. She says, is this a left-handed thing or is she just strange? Well, one, I don't think you're strange, Melissa. I think we can all be a little bit weird, but I think weird is good. Weird is definitely good. Have a few little weird traits. I think there are others that start from the same way, but do let us know in the comments below. If you start on the right hand side, is it because you're left-handed or is it just because you prefer to start on the left hand side? I think the reason I like to start, do you prefer to start on the right hand side? I think the reason I start on the left hand side is partly because of the way I hold my pen. So my pen comes in from this angle, so I can see better where I'm placing my diamond if I come in this way. Yet when I've got edges here, I find I'm having to lift my pen up higher than I would have done if there was no diamonds there already. So therefore I always find it easier to place from the left, so that I can see where I'm going. So yeah, it'd be interesting to know with others. You know, some people I know diamond paint more of a direct hit, should we say, more of a going straight for the bullseye. And maybe they're people that don't mind starting on the other side because it doesn't make any difference to them. They look, you know, or maybe they do it with their right hand, but they actually sit a little bit further to the right as well, so they can still see it from both sides. Would be interesting to know. She says, on a different note, she says she has the piercing for migraines. The piercer said to have it in the ear on the side that you mainly have migraines. She says she did this, but hers then moved across to the other side, so she now has both ears done. She says also, a note to think about, she said, when you have the piercing, is think about the material of the earring. She said if you need x-rays, you might have to remove them. She said she can't remove them and replace them herself. Her earrings are plastic so that she doesn't have to remove them. She said, thanks in advance, love the advent goodies and the videos. Well, that'll be an interesting topic, Melissa, when the answers to that one come in. It's not that I can't diamond paint from the right to the left, but I find it easier because of how I can come in at it with my pens. And I've just not put the top back on that one. It's a bit of a silly mistake. Let's put the top on. Try again. Susan, she says she loves the glow-in-the-dark drills in today's advent. She says she's so happy that they are square. She actually has a rubber stamp, she says, that is very close to the bicycle in today's picture. She says she thinks she will use those same colours to colour it when she uses it in the spring. That'll be pretty. See the both of those. She said she watched much earlier today. She says she's getting an early start. She says thank you for a wonderful waffle, and she'll see us tomorrow. See you tomorrow. User PJ, and then lots of letters and numbers. She said such a great birthday video. She said good tips about square diamonds. She says she has only done one square, so she's really looking forward to doing the small cute picture from day 14. Yes, nice introduction if you've not done squares before or not done many of them. It's small enough to give it a go without it being daunting. And if it's, if you still prefer rounds at the end of it, then fair dinkum. At least you've reconfirmed that your favourite is rounds, but if you find you enjoy it, it may open up some other picture options to you from suppliers where you get to the point that you actually don't kind of mind whether it's round or square. While I do like square paintings, I've actually found that I've been really enjoying the times that I have an image in round and I'm doing rounds. I really enjoy the variety that it brings. So like a 2/3 and a 1/3 ratio is kind of nice for me. 2 square paintings, 1 round one, which are nice and different. Irene, she says, hi Rebecca. She says she's finished hers today and blinged it up. She says she loves it very much. She says thank you very much. Oh, I'm glad you've enjoyed it. I love December. Blossom Chops, she said she's had a really busy and productive day. She says first time out for a week because of a nasty cold, and she's currently busy with the wrapping. She says thank you Rebecca for keeping me company. You are so welcome. Get to keep people company while they're productive, which is always good. And I'm getting there with my squares. Ice Ziggy said hi, just catching up as they're a couple of days behind. They love that tiny diamond painting too, as they didn't buy the 24-day advent, but they did buy the diamond painting and calendar. They said wishing you and yours a Merry Christmas and a new year full of all the goodies. Thank you. I'm having a Lego Christmas this year, I think. I am going to absolutely love Boxing Day, which is the day after Christmas. It's called Boxing Day in the UK. I am having a pure Lego day. For as long as I feel like it, I am going to be building Lego. I'll probably end up fitting some diamond painting in as well when I want a little change of scenery. Oh, Nearly forgot my butterfly. But yeah, I'll be definitely having a Lego kind of day on Boxing Day. And I'm sure Catherine will want to help me because she loves the building of Lego. I love strawberries said, hi, Christmas is not going to be the norm for them. They've got COVID and their quarantine should be done by Christmas Eve. But their last minute shopping errands time has become sleeping. On the upside, they've had more time to diamond paint. So a bit more relaxing time beforehand, and you know, when things like this happen, you realise what is the urgent things that you need to get and what are the not as urgent. What is what you could call the fluff that you'd like to get, but you don't have to get. They're now about 1/5 of the way done with Myrtle. They've also finished some gnome coasters with lavender designs, and today they used both the light up pen and the glow in the dark squares when the power went out. When they decided to start Space Paint Gem Minis. That is an ideal set to use the glow in the dark with. I think I used some square glow in the dark with the Space Paint Gem mini set that I did, and some of them do look really, really cool with the glow in the dark drills with it. It's one of the perfect ones. I may actually put some in. I've got a space one from Dreamer Designs. I think it's one that I've opened already. I've done an unboxing on already. I think it has some AB in, but if it doesn't have some glow in the dark, I may have to sneak some of them into that as well. They've got 45 mph winds with 30° Fahrenheit or 1° Celsius. So much fun. Oh, I'll be glad you're inside. We currently have a storm blowing through or coming through. I know some places have lost power. There's been trees fallen, things like that. So I'm quite grateful that we are getting to spend most of our time inside. They said the power did come on about 2 hours later, and thanks for keeping me company. Well, you get better soon, and hopefully it'll all be cleared up for Christmas Eve and you can enjoy the festivities, whatever they may be. Fee, she said hi. She said she may be watching all my videos out of sync recently. She says she totally agrees with the lack of a Christmas spirit. Last year was odd, said, because they had all the decorations up prior to their mother-in-law actually passing on the 13th of December. And this year, neither herself or her hubby want to face it. They currently have car and financial worries, as well as today a routine checkup to do with her husband's illness didn't go to plan, and have been told to wait until February. Oh no. So we don't have children, so we just have to worry about my niece and 2 nephews. She said, as everybody else understands how tight our purse strings are. Well, at least that's a blessing. You've got the support. Just look at the kids' faces. Just take in their enjoyment this Christmas, even if you aren't filling it fully yourselves. Just enjoy the little things that make the kids light up, and you know, it hopefully then it won't be the worst Christmas, even though it won't be a good one or necessarily a full-on one. Just enjoy what you can through the kids, because kids do have this way of sort of making Christmas different. And I think that's what it is a lot of the time. Like, the kids have all been older for a few years now, but I think we're definitely feeling it a bit more this year. Definitely feeling like they're older this year. She says, hoping 2024 is brighter and will be on the up. She said, apologies for the long ramble. You don't need to apologise for the long ramble at all. Firstly, I do get it. It's definitely hard when Christmas is not what you're used to experiencing. And, you know, all the hype is that you're supposed to enjoy it. You're supposed to have the best feelings, like everything else goes on hold for Christmas. And quite often that is not the case, especially, you know, when you've got upsetting times and memories of upsetting years before. It definitely makes it different. So be kind to yourself, look out for the small things that make the kids smile, and enjoy the pretty lights and any time you do get with family, because at the end of the day, that's what you're going to remember later on, not how many presents were under the tree. It's the smiles. Denaya said they did not get to choose if they liked the stopper in their tray or not. They stopped just after they'd emptied the tray, set the stopper on their desk, and went to visit the washroom. They came back in time to see their 6-month-old kitten yeeted off my desk. Love the word yeet. Yeeted off the desk, and they've yet to find it. You gotta love cats. She said, I swear she yeeted it into a new dimension. Wouldn't surprise me. Would not surprise me at all if the cat did yeet it into the next dimension. She says, other than that little whoopsie, she does love her tray. She says she's trying to save up for a full-size one now, since she keeps getting paintings with thousands, probably even millions, the amount of zeros that are on the end of this number, of 310s and 939s in the background. You like the dark, moody pictures, don't you? Megan does the same. She absolutely loves the dark, moody pictures, etc. And then moans about the amount of 310 on them. And it's like, but that's because of the picture that you've got. User SX and lots of numbers says, I missed a white colour dot symbol across the top. I'm not sure what picture it was. I'm not seeing one that I've missed. Doesn't mean I haven't. I'm just not seeing one. I will keep an eye out for it. Maybe it's one I've popped it in without realising. But yeah, thanks. I will keep an eye out to see if I have managed to either fill it or if there is a symbol that I've missed somewhere. If anybody else sees which one it's on, do just let me know which one it's on, because I forget what section I've done from day to day. I don't even know if I can remember which section I did yesterday. Never mind a few days ago. Bev says, hi everyone. She says she loved today's advent. Glow-in-the-dark drills, she said, and she might use some on the kit we got on the 14th. She says she's looked after her 4-month-old great niece today, so she didn't get much painting done, but she got lots of baby snuggles instead. Well, that's definitely worth a little bit of a trade-off for a while. She says she'll be having her next Tuesday and Wednesday too. She says this gives her niece time to take her great nephew to nursery and get some last minute stuff done without having to drag the baby out with her. She said, hope everyone is having a lovely day. Well, we are here. I hope you're having an amazing day as well, and enjoy those baby snuggles, that's for sure. Fee, she says she's really glad that I said about it not being as late as you think in this video. She says she thought she'd better ask a certain machine, will not say the name. Oh, she was going to ask what I like to refer as Lexi when talking on video so that it doesn't trigger everything else off. But she thought she'd better ask Lexi, but it was actually later than she thought. Oops. It'll be fine. Deep breaths. Deep breaths. We'll all get there. We'll all get out the other side, and we'll look forward to 2024. Streaks Me says, hello Rebecca, here's an update on the chipped pen and sorry, the camera cut me off. She said, here's an update on the chip pen and super glue fiasco. She said she finally picked all of the glue off her fingers. She says, but the pen is a different story. There's just texture on your pen. It's all fine. It's all about texture. She says, have a wonderful day. Yeah, just enjoy the texture. It's to help you grip the pen. That's what it is. That's what it's there for. Mysterious Day, she said she's discovered that one row, aka 3 10x10 squares, cells, plus one 5x10 section equals about an hour of work on the Diamond Art Studio calendar. Figured it down to time. She says, funny story about square diamond painting. She said her first diamond painting was actually a square 30 by 40. And seeing it now makes her cringe at how poorly aligned and just overall bad it looks. She said it's hidden away in shame in her portfolio. It's like with anything, it's just a reminder that it takes practice. It takes practice to get it how you're happy with it. And I'm sure you're being more judgmental than others would be. Takes a while to sort of get used to squares. User WS, and then lots of numbers and letters, says, hi Rebecca, was wondering where you got your clamps to hold your advent calendar on your easel. They've not seen them in the United States. Could you let me know? They're also loving the items in their advent countdown. Thank you so much. Yeah, they're just classed as towel clips. So if you search for towel clips, think like, you know, beach towels that you need to clip to a chair. I think that's what they, you know, that's what sort of started them. That's what they primarily were for. But as with anything, many of us can find multiple uses for multiple different things. I think even these ones, when I got them, they weren't advertised as a diamond painting item. They were advertised as a cross-stitch item. I think more to hold them on a cross-stitch frame. But yeah, towel clips is what you need to look for. Stephanie, she said she's so glad that she was able to get the advent calendar this year. She says she has been amazed with all the items. She says day 14 might be her favourite so far. She said she plans to take it to work with her on Christmas Eve, as they will have to travel home on Christmas. They've absolutely loved doing the painting with me. They're caught up as of today, which is the 18th of the 12th. So sorry, they put 12/18. Always takes me a minute with American dates. But they've also completed sections 23 and 24. They hope to do 19 and 22 tomorrow, so they can spend Friday evening and Saturday morning cutting apart the sections and putting them on the calendar as a Christmas gift for their grandma. Oh, beautiful. She says, thank you, Rebecca and Warburton family. Oh, you're so welcome. I hope you have an amazing Christmas, an amazing time with family. Yeah, just have fun. I like the idea of doing the day that we're on, but your ahead one being the last day and working backwards until you meet in the middle. I like the idea of that, especially if you're going away over Christmas and you know you need to complete it sooner. It's like you're still playing along, but you're just going to finish sooner because you've been working from the end backwards. So that's always fun. Kim says, glow-in-the-dark drills are so cool. She says, thank you so much for the great gifts and the great WIP and Waffle. Went back to work today, so they are loving watching and listening to the group chatter. Okay, those 2 diamonds did not want to stick. Madison, they said they finally caught up with the videos. They don't know if they'll be joining in next year because of schoolwork, but thanks for a great WIP and Waffle today. She's also said she may join in the June Waffle next year. So yeah, we do have a couple. Sometimes the June one interferes with people's holidays and things. Sometimes it doesn't. But any that you can join in, whether it be full or in part, it's always good. Oh, Nellie, she says, hi Rebecca. She says she's got her diamond painting set up. I'm so happy, Nellie. She said it's a lot different to her table. She's got a tittered table that she's trying to do it on, but she's still watching. Might take a little bit of getting used to, but I'm sure you'll be able to find your rhythm soon enough. You do get used to the way you have things set up a certain way, so it can take a little bit of adjustment when things are different. But I'm so happy you've been able to do some diamond painting again since you've moved. Tina, she says, hello Rebecca. She said she got the heart soft ornament today in her advent. She said, safe to say who stole that, she said, was her daughter, who is enjoying her calendar as much as she is. She said, thanks again for your hard work and the thought put into everything you do. Oh, thank you. I'm so glad everybody in the family is enjoying it, as long as she's not pinching the things that you want for yourself. Jess says, happy birthday to Caris. Thank you. She says she loved the beautiful ceramic ornament today. She said she's written the year and AMZ day 19 on the back so that she would remember. She said it's hanging on her tree already. That's beautiful. We started with the soft squishy ornaments. That was the one that we wanted to get for everybody, but because we've done such huge numbers this year, we just weren't able to get a hold of any more because they were picked up in January, so it was sort of after Christmas. So we had to go on the hunt for something else instead. And they're both gorgeous and they're both pretty, but in different ways. But yeah, that was one of our hunting items. Right, I am finished the section for today. I am on comments for day 19, so still a little bit behind, but not too behind. It'll all work out in the end. But the hand is completed and we get to finish up the umbrella tomorrow, and then I'll put this line in here, followed by the camera, which I'll have quite a bit to do. But yeah, I'm loving how it's all looking. I just love all the pictures, but then again, I did pick them, so I should hope I do like them. But anyway, I think quite a few of you will very much like day 23's gift, so do tune in tomorrow to see that. But thank you all so much for watching today, and I'll speak to you all tomorrow.